Get him.
One named after the dog.
Welcome to the Nation of Jake on The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
All right, welcome to it.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990. Online, KWAMTheVoice.com. The Listen Live link is in the top right corner. You can also stream the show live on YouTube. The YouTube channel is Nation of Jake. That's one word, Nation of Jake. Run it all together, no spaces. Subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow me on Facebook and on Twitter at Nation of Jake on this Thursday, September 26th, year of our Lord 2019. Cloudy, 83 degrees. And that's the high for today. We're already at it at 1:07 p.m. 83 degrees for your high. Maybe some rain this afternoon. Nothing major. Should be real nice out at the Liberty Bowl tonight as Memphis takes on Navy. That's right, a Thursday night game for the Tigers. Pretty cool. They had a bye week last week, so they had like a full 2 weeks almost to prepare for Navy. And I'm really hoping it doesn't rain at all, because we know what happened last time, that Brady White was the quarterback against Navy when it rained. Didn't work out so well for the Tigers. We're hoping that their fortunes will be better. I guess they're favored by 10.5 or so. So I know some people going out to the game. Hope they have a good time. Today on the program, the impeachment sales pitch is on. That's what this is right now, the impeachment sales pitch. The whistleblower complaint is out, which is just going to raise more questions. Questions I'm not sure the Democrats want answered, especially during this election season. And you got to think about it. If it's all about impeachment and it's all about all these investigations about Ukraine, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, whistleblower, who was it, leakers, all this stuff, kind of like Mueller 2.0, Steele dossier 2.0, how are any of the Democrat presidential candidates going to break away and be visible in the news cycle? I guess we'll find out. Also, the new hate symbols are out. I didn't know this was a thing. It is, apparently. It's kind of like words added to the dictionary, but with gestures and images of racism and anti-Semitism. There are new hate symbols out there. It's not just about swastikas and rebel flags anymore. We've got new hate symbols to discuss. We'll get into that as well. And a follow-up on Carson King, young man from Iowa. He had a sign that said, Bush Light supply needs replenishing. Here's my Venmo. He got $1 million for his creative game day sign there with the Iowa State game. And, he took all the money, $1 million that people sent for him for beer money, and he gave it to a children's hospital and then was torn down by a newspaper reporter. Well, Carson King might be getting the last laugh. We've also got some stuff on comedy's Civil War from the Hollywood Reporter, and we're going to have some clips from this debate, this hearing that they're having on the whistleblower. So we'll get in the news cruise as well. We've got some local stuff to get into. But yeah, today it's all about the hashtag whistleblower complaint. That's the number one trending topic here in Memphis and nationally. Everybody wants to know what's in this whistleblower complaint. We're talking about the whistleblower complaint that alleged that Donald Trump solicited foreign interference in the election against a political rival. Now, we heard the transcript. We read the transcript. We heard all about it. The text of the call came out yesterday. The actual phone call on July 25th between Donald Trump and the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. They talked. They brought up a bunch of stuff. There was no quid pro quo. There was no situation in which Donald Trump said, we will not give you military aid unless you investigate Joe Biden. He did say, we would like a favor. We'd like you to look into this CrowdStrike thing, which was from the 2016 election. He wanted to look backwards at meddling in the 2016 election. And he talked about a bunch of stuff, but there was no quid pro quo, as was alleged by some of the Democrats. So we have the text of the call out. Well, now we have the whistleblower complaint. The whistleblower complaint has been released, and this is what touched off a political tempest in Washington. It was released to the public this morning, alleging President Trump used the power of his office to solicit interference from Ukraine in the 2020 election, and that White House officials subsequently tried to lock down records of that phone call. The records of the phone call that were released yesterday. But they weren't released at the time of the whistleblower complaint. All right. The rough transcript of the call between Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, was already released a day earlier by the White House. It confirmed that Trump sought an investigation from Ukraine into the Biden family, though did not show the president explicitly leveraging U.S. aid as had initially been suggested in some media reports. So it was another bombshell that did not explode. But the whistleblower complaint released by the Democrat-led House Intelligence Committee ahead of the testimony from Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph McGuire goes further, though it's not a first-hand account of the call. All right, so let's just stop there for a minute. This whistleblower complaint is all based on gossip and hearsay. This whistleblower has no first-hand knowledge of the call, not a first-hand account. Now, we have the text of the call. We have the transcript. So there were people transcribing what happened. There were multiple people who have first-hand knowledge of the call, and we've seen their work memorializing what was said between Trump and Zelensky, right? Well, this is a person who wasn't there. So somebody who was on the call had to be feeding this information to this person who wasn't there. And honestly, I'm not so sure. I'm not a lawyer, but I do watch a lot of Law and Order. And when they say, objection, hearsay, you weren't there. That's something that you heard. You can't, that's not admissible in court. And usually the judge will say, sustained. That's what I know from watching television. All right. So usually you hearsay is not admissible. But again, this is not a court of law. This is a court of public opinion. All right. So we go on. The whistleblower, who remains anonymous, says in the complaint that White House officials who heard the call were deeply disturbed by it, and that White House lawyers discussed how to handle the call because of the likelihood in the officials' retelling that they had witnessed the president abuse his office for personal gain. That's pretty loaded. This is somebody who is complaining that other people were deeply disturbed. This is somebody who wasn't there, who wasn't on the call, has no firsthand knowledge, is pretty much submitting a report that claims to know the feelings of other people. Maybe it's an empath. Maybe it's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, Mantis, where she can touch you and feel what you feel. The document is sure to fuel the impeachment inquiry formally launched by House Democrats earlier this week. Trump, though, has maintained he did nothing wrong. In fact, he tweeted, "The greatest scam in the history of the American politics." White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said in a statement that nothing has changed with the release of this complaint. She described it as nothing more than a collection of third-hand accounts of events cobbled together, press clippings, all of which shows nothing improper. Trump had nothing to hide. I think Trump pretty much proves that he really has nothing to hide by releasing all this stuff. Last night, in advance of the release of the whistleblower complaint, you're scratching your head going, all right, what is going to be in this whistleblower complaint that isn't already in the transcript? Because that was kind of a dud. Everybody's left like, nah. But then some of the members of the House Intelligence Committee who got to see the whistleblower complaint said things like this. They said, oh my goodness, what's in the whistleblower complaint is disturbing. It is disturbing, very, very disturbing. Oh, and it's very well organized and detailed. Well, if it's very well organized and detailed, good on whoever compiled it. Which really just raises the question of this whistleblower who wasn't there. They must have had help. To be that detailed, you're talking about a leak. You're talking about somebody had to help this whistleblower put it together. If this is just somebody's girlfriend, who is this whistleblower? Is this somebody who works in the administration? Is this a friend of a friend? Is this a guy who overheard things at a bar? Is this somebody that somebody was chatting with online? I don't know. Who leaked the information? Who helped the whistleblower put it together? How detailed can you be? It was impressive how detailed it was. I was reading tweets from a lot of the House Democrats last night. That's number one. This person, this whistleblower, who didn't witness the call, who wasn't on the call, they had to have had help from somebody who was, or had firsthand knowledge of it, right? And then you've also got the fact that, it was very disturbing. It was very disturbing and very detailed. Well, you know what else was very disturbing and very detailed? Grapes of Wrath. You ever read Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck? It's one of the most detailed novels of all time. I read it in 11th grade. I remember reading it thinking to myself, my God, John Steinbeck, I really love your shorter novels of mice and men. I mean, good stuff there. Blow through that in a day. But Grapes of Wrath is this epic novel about some dirty Okies, some people displaced by the old Dust Bowl in Oklahoma. They're going to go out to California and pick some peaches because they hear that's where the work is. And so Tom Joad and his family, an extended family, they hop on the truck like the Beverly Hillbillies and they ride out west. And on the way, John Steinbeck describes everything. They're called intercalary chapters in the Grapes of Wrath. You read it and you read an entire chapter about a turtle crossing the street. How a turtle gets flipped over on his back and he can't get back up, and I guess maybe some other animal helps him back. I forget what happened in the intercalary chapter about the turtle crossing the street, but I remember it was there, and it wasn't short. It was highly detailed, was Grapes of Wrath. I mean, every other chapter was just great detail about other things going on while the Joads were headed out west. There were also some disturbing parts of the Grapes of Wrath. These are people who are just trying to make it. The family gets kind of split up. Noah Joad. Remember Noah Joad? Noah was a little bit slow. He had a mental disability. I mean, at one point, they just let Noah float down the river. Noah decides, I'm going to go swimming in the river. And the family's like, man, that's one less mouth to feed. So they just kind of let Noah Joad drown. They just let him go. He just floats off. And that's a member of their family. I found that disturbing. And the final chapter, the final scene, if you will, with Grapes of Wrath, involves Rosa Sharon. I guess her last name's Joad, too. Rosa Sharon. She lost her baby. I guess she miscarried because of malnutrition. And then there was an old starving man, I guess a stranger that they came across. And Rosa Sharon still got milk, so she breastfeeds an old man. Disturbing! All right? So you got highly detailed, highly disturbing as Grapes of Wrath. And you know what else? Grapes of Wrath is a work of fiction. It's also not true. It's also not real. So, Mr. House Intelligence member, Mr. Representative, whoever you were, any one of them saying it was very detailed and very disturbing. There are also things that are very detailed and disturbing, which also aren't true, that aren't real. Well, they're not mutually exclusive. It can be very detailed and very disturbing, and also not a true account of what went down, especially since we've already seen the transcript of the call, right? We've already seen it. We've seen it. So I say the impeachment sales pitch is on because these people know, the Democrats of the House Intelligence Committee, Judiciary Committee, Jerry Nadler, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, they all know that the American people, for the most part, aren't going to read these things. They're not going to. They're not going to read the complaint by the whistleblower. They're not going to read the transcript. They're going to read what? They're going to read the headlines. They're going to read the headlines. They're going to watch Twitter videos, 2-minute clips of these hearings. They're going to read only superficially about this, and then they're going to formulate their opinion. And because impeachment is a political process driven by public opinion and not by facts or not by actual crimes or not by evidence, that they can get away with painting Donald Trump as corrupt, and it's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. Because impeachment is a political process and not a criminal process, you can bring in circumstantial evidence. And what you can say is, look, Mueller, look, Russia, look, hush money payments, look, Michael Cohen and Roger Stone and all these bad guys he's been around, all the tweets, all the things that he's done that we don't like. And they just say, death by 1,000 cuts. Just say all this stuff is why we need to impeach him. It's not any one thing. It's not any one smoking gun. It's not any one quid pro quo. It's he's Trump, and he's got to go. That's it. I mean, that's all. And that's what they're counting on. So they get out there and they say things like, oh, this is very disturbing. It's abuse of power. He tried to leverage this over that in Ukraine and da-da-da-da. But the problem with all of this is that they're going to call for an investigation, and then that investigation is going to turn up something else that needs to be investigated. And you know what's going to get investigated? Joe Biden. Joe Biden, who is largely thought of as the only hope for the Democrats to beat Donald Trump, the most electable, the most moderate Democrat in 2020. Well, he is going to get investigated. And we'll talk more about this in a little bit, because his son, Hunter Biden, who some people are saying, oh, don't go after his child. Hunter Biden's 49 years old. Hunter Biden is old enough to have joined the Navy and got kicked out for testing positive for drugs. He's also, like I said, 49. He's almost 50 years old. So he's not anybody's child at this point. Hunter Biden was given $50,000 to sit on the board of a Ukrainian energy company, and he has zero expertise in either energy or the Ukraine. So how does that even add up at all? And everybody's like, oh yeah, he was on the board. It was fine. And then you've got all this stuff with Joe Biden threatening to withhold $1 billion in aid to Ukraine unless they fired a prosecutor who was looking into Hunter Biden's dealings with this energy company. So look, we'll see what happens, but I just don't see any impeachable offenses. I mean, unless you just say, yeah, if because they wanna. That's just it. You know, Democrats can impeach if they wanna, and I misspoke yesterday. Let me clear something up. The Democrats only need 218 votes to pass the resolution to impeach. I said it was 290. That's a supermajority in the House. You don't need a supermajority in the House to bring impeachment up, to pass the articles of impeachment. You do need the supermajority in the Senate to convict. And I just don't see them getting the supermajority in the Senate to convict the president. So this is a high stakes, again, high risk, low reward deal. So whistleblower complaint is out. Does it change anything? I don't know. And we've got some of the clips and some of the shenanigans that went on in the hearing today, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. We've also got an update on Carson King, the kid who raised $1 million for a children's hospital and then who was rewarded by getting torn down by the media. Coming up next, though, this is interesting. There are new hate symbols out there. I think that it is incumbent upon us to familiarize ourselves with all the hate symbols out there, with hand gestures, photos, cartoon characters, haircuts. That's right. Hate symbol haircuts. It's coming up next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Hempville CBD has opened its second location at 562 Goodman Road in South Haven. Whether you're new to CBD or already using it as part of your daily routine, one of our knowledgeable consultants is ready to serve you. Hempville CBD offers a variety of quality products such as oils, lotions, edibles, CBD vape products, and something for your furry pets as well. Come by Hempville CBD at 562 Goodman Road right next to Subway, or call us at 662-536-6046. 662-536-6046.
I talk with healthcare professionals to bring you the latest wellness information Tuesdays and Thursdays on Live Life Well. Listen in and get tips like this to help you get started on your road to wellness.
The highest hurdle most of us ever get over is getting started on doing something every day. Start with a 5-minute walk every day. Have some comfort close by bedside. Jump on your treadmill, your stationary bike, or your sidewalk. Do 5 minutes and then go take a shower and get ready for your morning.
I'm Bernadette Davis, and I've got you covered every Tuesday and Thursday on Live Life Well. Listen in during the Mary Beth Conley Show, streaming live on KWAM, The Voice.com.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, stop. Don't do anything until you talk to my man, James Underwood. James Underwood has been helping people like you navigate the Mid-South real estate market for more than a decade. So whether you're looking to buy your first home or you want to upgrade to your forever home, James Underwood can help make it happen. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just a rock-solid guy that I've known for 25 years. So now, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, hit up James Underwood with CryLike. JamesUnderwood.crylike.com. That's JamesUnderwood.crylike.com.
Hey, are you pregnant and need health insurance?
Yes, I'm really in need of insurance.
Have you heard of the TennCare Presumptive Prenatal Program?
No, what is that?
It's a program where pregnant women can get 62 days of temporary Medicaid insurance coverage.
Wow, I didn't know about that. Thanks.
For more information regarding the TennCare Presumptive Prenatal Program, contact the Shelby County Health Department at 901-545-8722 or log on to shelbytnhealth.com. Funding for this was provided by the Tennessee Department of Health.
Start your day with America in the Morning, your daily radio news magazine. I'm John Trout, and weekday mornings we'll bring you the top stories and latest breaking news from our correspondents around the country. You'll get sports highlights, a business update, the nation's weather, the Hollywood Minute, and much more. So join us right here for America in the Morning.
Weekdays on your local voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Triumph Bank strives to make banking easy for our customers. You have a lot of choices when it comes to banks, so we invite you to visit one of our local offices in Memphis, Germantown, Collierville, and Arlington to see for yourself how our team, backed by our state-of-the-art online and mobile services, can simplify banking for you and your business. Triumph Bank, invested in our communities and making banking easy for you. Triumph is a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender. TriumphBank.com. Let's talk growth.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. And a little bit, we'll talk about Alexa and a new voice for Alexa. That's right. If you've got a talkie puck in your house, one of those Amazon Echoes, you can have Alexa sound a little bit different. In fact, completely different, but still familiar to you. All right. It's all whistleblower complaint all day long on every other radio station. We gave it its due. Now it's time to move on. And just so you know, there are hate symbols out there. You know, you would never, ever, ever mistake a Nazi symbol for anything other than a hate symbol. All right. And then, you know, in the past few years, you know, the rebel flag has really risen to the level of a hate symbol. When I was a kid, it was Dukes of Hazzard. You know, it was like, oh, yeah, them good old boys never mean no harm. They're rebels, rebel flag, they're rebellious, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. But now it's a no-go. I mean, everybody from Dukes of Hazzard to Leonard Skinner have kind of abandoned the Confederate battle flag. I guess Northern Virginia's battle flag, whatever it was called. It's just it wasn't the actual true flag of the Confederacy. It's just the rebel flag. You know what I'm talking about. Now we've got more hate symbols that have been named by the Anti-Defamation League. I guess the ADL has cornered the market on determining what is a hate symbol. Well, the latest one added to the database of hate symbols is the OK hand gesture is now a hate symbol. You know, OK circle with your middle ring and pinky fingers up, circle with the index and the thumb. I'm doing it now. It's a hate symbol, but I'm just doing this for academic purposes only on the YouTube. It is a hate symbol, according to a new report by the ADL. The ADL added that symbol, along with several others on Thursday, to its long-standing database of slogans and symbols used by extremists. Okay, so the finger and thumb OK sign is universally known for meaning everything is all right or approval of something. A-OK. It's always been, okay, gotcha. It can be used derisively. Now, okay, it can be used, yeah, we're good. We're good. It's okay. Okay. I'm okay. Perfect. Or just, yeah, that's it. Hey, can I get more drum in the guitar monitor, please? Yeah, I need more vocals in the drum monitor. And then you're like, we're good. I don't have to explain the OK symbol to you. You know why? Because that's what it means. It's universally known. But now they're saying it's been co-opted by the alt-right. That's right. Now, the OK hand gesture and its link to white nationalism began as a hoax cooked up by users of the website 4chan, who falsely linked it to white supremacy, according to the Anti-Defamation League. So, the Anti-Defamation League, they know the origins of this. They know that some internet trolls, they linked the OK to white nationalism because they say that the three fingers up make a W, and then the circle makes the head of a P, which would go down your wrist instead to mean white power, WP. So they fully understand that this was done by idiots on the internet. on 4chan or 8chan or whatever it is, but they still are classifying it as a hate symbol. Now, there was some big story out of Chicago where some dude was using the OK symbol, not just as OK, but it's also the circle game. You put it upside down below your waist, and if somebody looks at it and they don't plug the hole up, that's how we used to play. You can't look at it. If you look at the circle, then you get punched, right? And that's that game. It's the circle game. So that's another like universal use of it. We've been using it for like A-OK. We've been using it for the circle game. And then some dude did this at a Cubs game. He put the circle in the frame where Doug Glanville, who was a former Cub and correspondent for Cubs baseball on TV, and that guy got banned from Wrigley Field forever for being a white nationalist. It's like, what? So the ADL posted in this report, at least some white supremacists seem to have abandoned the ironic or satiric intent by the original trolling campaign and used the symbol as a sincere expression of white supremacy. So their expert points to Australian white supremacist Brenton Tarrant, who was in that Christchurch shooting. He perpetrated it. He is the mass murderer. Was pictured using the OK symbol during a courtroom appearance. So this guy took it seriously. So now it's a hate symbol, as determined by the ADL. What about when NBA players use it, man? They always do that when they sink a big three. They go with their circle fingers and then their three up as if to say, 3-pointer, yeah, and then they kind of hold it in like the Omega. Like, you have this like with your arms, which it's hard for me to do now because my arms are getting so big because I lift incredibly heavy weights. But yeah, you make this like Omega thing with the OKs up. Is that white power? I guess if is it nullified if you do two? Does one cancel the other out? I don't know. It's all pretty stupid. That's not the only one. No, it's not the only one. The ADL has also determined some other hate symbols, things that would be otherwise innocuous. They added to their new list of hate symbols Dylan Roof's bowl cut. That's right. A haircut. A hate symbol haircut. Dylan Roof, of course, went into a black church in Charleston, South Carolina, I believe, and he killed 9 people with a couple of handguns, and he was seen to have had a rebel flag and a Rhodesian flag, and he was a total evil jerk, and that's understating it for radio. I can't say what he really is on the air. The FCC will not let me. They will not let me be. That said, the bowl cut image or emoji, there's a bowl cut emoji, is used by white supremacists to symbolize Dylan Roof, who shot 9 people, like we said. So this guy's haircut? So what if you just have a bad haircut? What if you just have hair that swoops over to the side and you've got this stupid hair? That means that like every kid who goes to MUS or Ole Miss is flaunting a hate symbol. A bowl cut is now a hate symbol? What do you do with Mr. Spock from Star Trek? Or John Denver and his bowl cut? What about Mo Howard from the Three Stooges? I love Mo. Mo was pretty mean guy too. And then Mark Davis, that guy's goofy bowl cut, the guy who owns the Raiders. Yeah, so Lloyd Christmas, stupid bowl cut, hate haircut. That's new. The Moon Man. You remember this? The Moon Man, it was a commercial for McDonald's. 1980s, McDonald's had a guy, and they call it Mac Tonight, a takeoff of Mac the Knife. And he was like a crooner, and he had a big old moon face, and he would play piano, and the whole promotion was that McDonald's was staying open late, and it was called Mac Tonight. But the Moon Man is now been used by white supremacists to make videos where he raps using racist rhetoric. This is pretty interesting. That these guys, you know what these guys are doing on 4chan? These guys on these message boards, some of them are not white supremacists at all, and they're just trolls. And they're saying, "Hey, let's start something. Let's start something on the internet and see if we can get people to freak out about it. Let's cash in on this outrage." I mean, I'm not sure how they're cashing in on it, but remember the frog, Pepe the Frog? This was just like a frog. It was like a frog that was created by a guy named Matt Fury. Matt Fury's cartoon, it was like a little frog, and it got hijacked by online extremists who superimposed the frog with Nazi symbols and other hateful imagery. This is amazing. It's amazing because, listen, a symbol only has power if you give it that power. And people are out there, they're just so ready to be outraged that they're going to take seriously the OK symbol is now white supremacy. People with bowl cuts, or I guess the bowl cut emoji. Do you have a bowl cut emoji? Good Lord. You know how many kids I know that just have that little bowl cut? Because when a kid's hair starts growing, you don't really style your hair when you're a kid. You just run outside. It kind of gets long and shaggy. One of my kid's best friends, a little boy who runs around, he's a mouse every day. He's got one of those Dylan Roof haircuts. It just kind of swoops over. And you're like, okay, yeah, you've got the same haircut as that guy who killed people. But it's not a hate symbol. That's insane. And also, I don't know. I know the Anti-Defamation League, they keep tabs on this kind of stuff, but I'm not so sure that they should be the keepers of it. But yeah, they get their hate on display database, which it's all about context, isn't it? I mean, you can go say, yeah, okay. What other symbols? What other hand gestures? Let's go, or haircuts. I think that, what's his name? If you got a haircut, that high butt cut fade, like the North Korean guy, Kim Jong-un, that's got to be a hate symbol, doesn't it? So your butt cut fade, add that to the list of haircuts. How about the one that everybody's got now, man? All those alt-right guys got they shave their hair up to the part. You know, they buzz it up to the part, just kind of get rid of the left side of their part and just let their hair just kind of like flop over. Every kid has that haircut now. But so did Richard Spencer and all those alt-right guys. So did the guy who drove his car into that girl in Charlottesville. So I believe that haircut, whatever you want to call it, that thing has to go. How about the bird, flipping people the bird? That's like the original hate symbol. The dismissive wank, the throat slit. Yeah, that incites violence. Like, hey, cut it out, stop. Like the throat slit. I guess there's two variations on that. You have the actual throat slit, like, I'm gonna slit your throat, and then you've got the no, cut it off, no. And then you've also got the finger gun, like, hey, shoot a McGavin style thing, the shocker, and the Vulcan, the live long and prosper. I mean, how long until that gets co-opted? Are you going to let Leonard Nimoy's legacy get co-opted by the 4chan groups? They could do it. I guarantee you they could. They could take the live long and prosper made famous on Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry and then Leonard Nimoy, and they can make that into a hate symbol. So, what with Dick Williams, his magic fingers, that guy's screwed. All right. Coming up, follow-up on this Carson King fella. Carson King raised $1 million for kids in the hospital, and then they said, nope, he's evil. He tweeted something bad when he was 16. Well, Carson, he's getting the last laugh. We'll talk about that next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
CBS News update. One day after the whistleblower complaint against President Trump made it to Congress, the man responsible for releasing that report went before the House Intelligence Committee to explain why it took so long. Acting Director of National Intelligence, Joseph McGuire.
It was not stonewalling. I didn't receive direction from anybody. I was just trying to work through the process and the law the way it is written. I have to comply with the way the law is, not the way some people would like it to be.
Committee Chairman Adam Schiff made it clear Democrats are still pursuing impeachment.
There are any number of potential crimes when a president is soliciting foreign assistance again in another presidential election. There can be no claim of ignorance this time.
President Trump.
They don't want to talk about anything because they're fixated on this, and Nancy Pelosi has been hijacked by the radical left, and everybody knows it.
CBS News update. I'm Jim Chenevey.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Free Talk Live. They have to pass a law that all the guns that are currently there have to disappear in a puff of smoke. That's what they have to do.
Oh, wait, you mean the bad guys won't actually give up their firearms when the authorities come around to confiscate them?
It doesn't really matter that they won't give up their firearms because we're going to pass a law.
Striking.
Laws aren't a bunch of dumb crap written on paper. They actually do something.
Free Talk Live, Sunday through Friday nights on KWAM, The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
At your age, you should know better. The Best Times helps you make better decisions that affect all areas of your life. Whether you're looking for the best place to move to in retirement, a new car, auto repair, entertainment, how to save money on medications, latest safety devices, home medical options, or financial advice, you will find all that and more when you pick up your free copy of The Best Times at one of over 250 locations throughout the Mid-South. The Best Times, the source of quality information for mature Mid-Southerners for over 33 years.
This is Clark Howard. There's a big fuss made recently when the feds decided to roll back rules requiring more efficient lighting in your home. Well, the funny thing is that overwhelmingly around the country, people's electric bills, their consumption has been declining principally because people are putting in more efficient LED bulbs. So just because the new rules say, well, you can put in as energy wasteful a bulb as you want, why would you? And think about this. LED bulbs now routinely are available for $1 a bulb. Home Depot sells them all the time in multi-packs at $1 a bulb. In fact, at that price, if you have any old-fashioned traditional light bulbs hanging around your house plugged into fixtures, replace them even though they're still working with an LED bulb. You'll save so much on electricity.
The backyard's looking great, Rob. Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors? Why don't you just ask Home Advisor? Home what? HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job. Nice. Now, how much does it cost? Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free. What's the website again? HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor. If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to WaveBestWater.com. That's WaveBestWater.com.
All right, welcome back to it.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990. Online, KWAMTheVoice.com. The Listen Live link is in the top right corner. We're also streaming live on YouTube. The YouTube channel, Nation of Jake. One word, Nation of Jake there on YouTube. Subscribe, tell your friends to do the same. Got some breaking news here in the Nation of Jake. This has been a great week. Not only do we have the whistleblower saga, the Ukrainian phone call saga, we've also got news breaking right here in the middle of the day. Usually it's an afternoon thing, news breaks. But this week has been different, which I'm excited about. We've got the whistleblower. Yeah, the whistleblower, according to the New York Times, is a CIA officer who is detailed to the White House. His complaint suggested he was an analyst by training with an understanding of Ukrainian politics. So we've got this guy Ned, I believe his name is, and Ned has been in the CIA. And then it's also said that Ned has a book coming out. He's let's see. I had all the information I needed on Ned a minute ago. Ned Price is his name, according to Brian Dean Wright on Twitter. Ned Price was also a CIA analyst who was detailed to the White House. He's now a Democrat who has written for Washington Post, inked a book deal, and serves as a contributor for NBC where he bashes Trump all the time. We've got, let's see. Okay, let's see. It could be Ned Price. I'm piecing this all together as it breaks, I guess. This report from the New York Times does not say his name. Let's say that people are linking it to somebody who could be Ned Price. So that it's still, look, it's just coming out right now. So here you go. This is developing as we speak. So you know what? You have a CIA agent or somebody who's worked with the CIA, an analyst. You're like, oh, that seems credible. Oh, great. But we still don't know. He wasn't there. The whole thing. We got to find out though if this whistleblower, if he's got bad tweets. That's really the next thing. Is if it does come out who this whistleblower is. You know, they use Ned Price as an example of a CIA analyst who turned anti-Trump and made partisanship his deal. Whoever the whistleblower is, we got to find out if he's got bad tweets in his history, because then it'll just totally crush any kind of credibility he has. I mean, if he tweeted something when he was 16 years old, I don't know how old the guy is, how far back he goes on the Twitter. It's kind of like what happened with Carson King. We talked about it yesterday. Carson King is the Iowa beer money charity guy. That's what he's been known for. On College Game Day, he held up a sign that reads, Bush Light Supply needs replenishing. And it had his Venmo handle on it. And people Venmo'd him over $1 million. So he decided he was going to donate that to a children's hospital. But the Des Moines, Iowa Register, there in Iowa, the local paper, they decided to destroy his reputation and somehow discredit him as a college kid who raised $1 million and gave it to a children's hospital by digging up old tweets he sent when he was 16. But now, the folks of Iowa are rejecting the Des Moines Register's sleuthing. According to the New York Post, Governor Kim Reynolds of Iowa shrugged off the controversy, and she's given Carson King his own official day there in the great state of Iowa. She proclaimed this Saturday as Carson King Day. She says individuals like Carson King demonstrate how Iowa nice isn't just a slogan, but our way of life. Not only does King have his own official day, but there's a local brewery there in Iowa who's decided, look, we don't care that Anheuser-Busch has cut off ties to you because they're a bunch of cowards. We, a local brewery, we are going to brew up Carson King Iowa Legend beer in your honor. The beer will be sold at his brew pub for $1. And and $1 from each pint will go towards King's money-raising efforts for that children's hospital. So all's well that ends well, I guess. And then you've got charitable giving. It's continuing. Carson King is not going to stop at $1 million. He's going to see if he can push to $2 million. He's going to continue to raise money for that children's hospital. And so, you know, this guy, he got $1 million. Think about this. He got $1 million he didn't plan on, and he decides to use it to help people. So everybody wants to know, hey, who is this guy? And they dig up his old tweets when he was 16. He quoted comedian Daniel Tosh from Tosh.0 in his tweets. It's a 16-year-old quoting something that he saw on a comedy show. Probably not the best idea, but also 16 years old. 16-year-olds are largely stupid, as we've seen all week. All the 16-year-olds who we read about in the news. They don't make the best decisions. And he's changed. I mean, some 8 years later, he's 22 years old, 23 years old. He's a grown man. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, doing the right thing, donating money. But now the guy, of course, the follow-up is the Des Moines Register employs a guy named Aaron Calvin. He's the one who dug up the old tweets. Well, Aaron Calvin also has old tweets that are problematic, so to speak. And Des Moines Register saying, hey, we're launching our own investigation into him. But it's really funny how quickly they can do a background check on somebody like Carson King. But this Des Moines Register background check on Aaron Calvin, this investigation they're doing into his old tweets, is taking a long time. It's kind of stupid. But then we've got people in national pundits saying, listen, you stupid corn people in Iowa, you're lucky to have the Des Moines Register. It's one of the best newspapers in the country, and you idiots from Iowa don't even deserve it. You're lucky to have it. I think, come on, man. That's not what they should be doing, using their resources to tear down some kid who's given $1 million to a children's hospital. So, no, all's going to end well for Carson King. He's going to be okay. I think most of the people are on his side, and he's going to be all right. He'll never have to pay for beer in his town in Iowa again. I don't know what town he's from. Des Moines, maybe? I don't know. That's the only... Is there Cedar Plains? Cedar Bluff? Is Iowa? I'm sorry. I apologize to Iowans. I'm very unfamiliar with your state. All right, coming up, Alexa does not have to sound like Alexa. In fact, Alexa could sound like a man, an aggressive man who curses if you want him to. All right, it's coming up next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
If you're a baby boomer here in the Mid-South area, this message is for you. We've designed a brand new radio show with you in mind. It's The Retirement Income Doctor, hosted by Dave McAdams of the McAdams Group. Each week, Dave will teach you retirement strategies that have worked year after year, decade after decade, in any kind of market. That's right, the Retirement Income Doctor will teach you these strategies. So join us Saturday mornings at 10 for the Retirement Income Doctor.
When's the last time you looked at the windows in your house? Not through the windows, but at the windows. Really looked at them. There's dirt, streaks, buildup, smudges, fingerprints, paw prints, spider webs, dead bugs. There's little white speckles. I have no idea what they are, and who knows what else. Now, cleaning all the windows in your house makes a big difference, but it's also a big job. That's why you need Just Windows Home Services. Just Windows has been taking the pain out of window cleaning since 1992. Just Windows cleans all types of windows, storm windows, screens, skylights, interior, exterior, upstairs and down. Now, I know I told you the company is called Just Windows Home Services, but they do a lot more. Roof and gutter cleaning, pressure washing, mirrors, blinds, ceiling fans, light fixtures, chandeliers. Look, if you've got hard to reach areas of the house, then you need Just Windows Home Services. Call for a free estimate, 751-3934. That's 751-3934, or get them online at justwindowsmemphis.com. That's justwindowsmemphis.com.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Dan Groban and Phil Menard at Servant Advisors Group call this mailbox money. It's the monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They want to help remove stress from your retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Servant Advisors Group at 855-260-1000 for a complimentary retirement analysis with strategies that could help your nest egg provide you monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call right now, 855-260-1000. Servant Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Servant Advisors Group, LLC. Insurance licensed in Tennessee, Mississippi, and in Arkansas.
Your dog is a furry member of your family, and they deserve the highest level of care. Dogtopia has award-winning daycare, boarding, and spa services. They are the safest, cleanest, and most transparent dog daycare and boarding option for you. The best part? You can check in with your dog anytime on the video stream on your phone. Dogtopia, located at Carriage Crossing. Find out more at dogtopia.com to schedule your dog's best day ever.
If you're in need of a professional cleaning service that takes your business as seriously as you do, call Jan Pro Cleaning Systems today. They understand how important it is to establish and maintain a professional image. That's why they offer the Jan Pro Signature Clean and the Jan Pro Guarantee. From regular scheduled cleaning to the tough stuff like stripping and waxing, buffing, carpet extractions, and detail cleaning, Jan Pro does it all. Call today for a free, no-obligation quote. 901-683-4900. Insured and bonded for your protection. Jan Pro Cleaning Systems. Measurable cleaning, guaranteed results.
All right, welcome back to it.
Yes, have some.
It's the Nation of Jake on the Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990. Online, KWAMTheVoice.com. Streaming live on the YouTube channel, YouTube.com. You can subscribe to Nation of Jake that are on YouTube, on the app, on the desktop site. However you want to do it. You can also follow me on Facebook and the Twitter. At Nation of Jake, anywhere you go. More on this whole whistleblower complaint. They had a hearing today with the Director of National Intelligence. saying, hey, why did you sit on this? Why didn't you release this? Why has this been handled the way it's been handled? And he's just like, look, I handled it the way that the law states it should be handled. Like, nobody asked me for this. So we'll get into that. There was some really interesting moments, including where Devin Nunes of California, I believe, he accused Adam Schiff of trying to get nude pictures of the president, which I think is true. I think he was trying to get the president's naked pictures. Now, there were no naked pictures. Thank God. Oh, my God, we do not need to see those. It was bad enough when that guy made that naked Trump sculpture. Ugh. Ooh. All right, so if you are dumb enough to have one of those talkie pucks in your house, I've got two. I'm not judging you. Yeah, the Alexa Echo Dot. I got one for me and one for my kids. So I'm almost certain that all of my conversations with my family are being logged by Amazon. But you know what they're hearing? All those people who listen to your Alexa conversations or whatever it is, all they're hearing is me just yelling at my kids to pick up their stuff. No, your shoes don't go there. Where's your other flip-flop? Get your soccer stuff. No, you can't watch TV. No, quid pro quo. Go brush your teeth and maybe you can watch 15 minutes. Turn off the TV when your mom gets home. Don't let her know I let you watch so much TV. Do something else. That's all they're hearing. That's all you hear in my house. Alexa's about to get a lot more fun, though. My kids use Alexa. They'll play songs. But they only let the song go for 10 seconds, and then they ask her to play another song. And they've got this song that they always request from Alexa called Cat Flushing the Toilet. I'll play it later. It's about a cat flushing the toilet. Meow. Cat flushing the toilet is cat. Meow. Flushing the toilet. My house is an interesting place. Make it more interesting here. We've got now Samuel L. Jackson is one of the new celebrity voices of the smart speaker Alexa, the Echo Dot, just one of several new innovations unveiled on the future-heavy Amazon Alexa. No need to hold on to your wallet for this one, as the Jackson feature is affordable. For just 99 cents, Samuel L. Jackson can be the voice that responds to requests on Alexa. Now, I'm not sure if you would have to say, Alexa, play Old Town Road. If you say Samuel, I don't know if you have to address him as Samuel, but yeah, Samuel L. Jackson could be the voice of your Amazon Echo Dot. Now, you can download his voice to the system, cost you 99 cents. Then simply ask Sam to tell you jokes, information about the weather, set timers and alarms, play music and more, all with a little bit of his own personality, and you will be able to interact with Samuel L. Jackson in explicit and non-explicit versions. That was the number one question I had, is if you want him to, will Samuel L. Jackson Alexa call you an MF? I mean, if you want him to. No. So you say something like, hey, Samuel, will you play something by the Black Eyed Peas? I would like to hear Samuel Jackson say something like, no, I won't play the Black Eyed Peas, and I hope they burn in hell. I would love to hear that, because that'd be amazing. Next up, I'm hoping that they will have Christopher Walken as the voice of your GPS, because that would be fantastic. 500 feet, take a left. I mean, if you want to get there, you should take a left. Maybe you should, I don't know, proceed to the route. It'd be a good idea. I mean, if you want to. You've arrived. Your destination is on the left. All right, coming up, more from this whistleblower complaint hearing they're having. I hope this nude pictures of Donald Trump thing isn't real. Well, we'll get into it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
Serving Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. The latest news stories are here. This is KWAM Memphis.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Real news, real reporting.
I'm Jim Shenevy. Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph McGuire appeared before the House Intelligence Committee today, where Chairman Adam Schiff grilled him about why it took so long to get that whistleblower complaint against President Trump to Capitol Hill.
Sir, I have to work with what I've got. and that is the Office of Legal Counsel within the executive branch.
What you also had was a statute that says shall, and even then you said you had the discretion to provide it, but did not.
CBS's Nancy Cordes.
McGuire responded that, look, his hands were tied. This was his first week on the job. He was doing what he felt was right, and that this was a completely unprecedented situation that no one in his position had ever faced before, because this was a whistleblower's complaint that didn't have to do with somebody directly in his chain of command.
The complaint contends that President Trump urged Ukraine's president to investigate Joe Biden. The vaping lung disease epidemic continues to grow. Sabrina Cupid reports.
The Atlanta-based CDC confirms now 12 people have died from vaping in 10 states, and the number of people with lung injuries associated with e-cigarettes or vaping has jumped from just over 500 to more than 800 now in nearly every state in the country. Some people are so sick they are in the hospital on a ventilator to help them breathe.
There's a new Pentagon report out on suicides in the military. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
There were 541 suicides among service members in 2018. That's not a significant change over the 2 years before, though military officials say that's hardly comforting, and the numbers are not moving in the right direction. A majority of suicides are male, enlisted, and under 30. The acting secretary of the Army calls the report disheartening and disappointing.
Well, it took more than 50 years, but there is today a memorial to the deadliest submarine disaster in U.S. history at Arlington National Cemetery. Allison Keyes reports.
There's an image of the USS Thresher at sea on the memorial, which reads in part, in honor of the 129 men lost and their subsafe legacy. On April 10, 1963, the Thresher sank during deep diving tests off the coast of Massachusetts. It was the most technologically advanced nuclear-powered sub of its day. The accident led the Navy to establish the Subsafe Submarine Safety Program. No submarine certified under the training program has ever been lost. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
And there is also an established memorial at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Kittery, Maine, where the Thresher was built. The NFL has formed a partnership with DraftKings to be its provider for daily fantasy sports. It puts the league a step closer to legal betting on games. DraftKings began as a fantasy sports platform, but it now operates as a full-service sports book. On Wall Street right now, the Dow down 35. This is CBS News.
The CBS World News Roundup Late Edition with Jim Chenevey.
President Trump held a series of meetings today on the border wall.
Every weeknight on the CBS Radio Network.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Another big game show winner.
Jason Zafarianeri is the latest contender to dominate Jeopardy.
That gives him now a total of $502,096.
His 19-day winning streak has so far netted him $532,000. He's now become the third contestant to win $500,000 during regular season. James Holzhauer won 32 straight games earlier this year. Ken Jennings won a record 74 games back in 2004, winning $2.5 million. Zafarianeri says he's been studying on things like classic paintings and music. Matt Piper, CBS News.
The Fremont, California Police Department found out the hard way that using a Tesla as a police cruiser may not be the best choice. The electric cars do have quick acceleration and speed, enough to more than qualify as a pursuit vehicle, but you have to keep an eye on the battery level. In a police chase, the vehicle ran out of juice, so instead of charging the suspect, the officer got to charge the cruiser instead. Jim Chenevey, CBS News.
The U.S. is in debt, and the IRS is getting more aggressive, using private agencies to track you down, seize your assets, and even start the process of taking away your passport. Dealing directly with the IRS can be a daunting experience. Oxford Tax Partners has the experience and the reputation at substantially lowering your IRS debt, or even having it forgiven. Don't wait. If you owe more than $10,000, take advantage of the Fresh Start Initiative. If you qualify, it will stop the IRS collection agencies from coming after you. Let the experts at Oxford Tax Partners get you protected once and for all. Call Oxford Tax now at 800-575-1919. That's 800-575-1919. If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed your taxes in past years, with one phone call, you may be on your way to having your taxes forgiven or substantially reduced. Find out more. Call the tax experts at Oxford Tax Partners for a free consultation now at 800-575-1919. 800-575-1919. That's 800-575-1919.
That's what I'm talking about, Jake. I've worked in the private sector. They expect results.
Welcome to the Nation of Jake on The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. Streaming live on YouTube, the YouTube channel Nation of Jake. Just go ahead and lock that in, subscribe, and tell your friends to subscribe as well. We're on the Facebook and on the Twitter at Nation of Jake. You know, I've taken a step back from social media. I use it every day, but I've still taken a step back. I used to post a lot on Facebook, and now I'm just like, nah, I'm just not going to. Yeah, I've become more of a recluse. I mean, you guys get everything I've got every day. You really do. I mean, all the thoughts and opinions and stuff. And I've got more stuff going on upstairs, but, you know, it's not for everybody. That said, you can still follow along on Facebook or on Twitter. I probably give more of my thoughts out on Twitter, just like random stuff. Like today, everybody's talking about the hashtag whistleblower complaint. That is the number one trending topic in the nation. It's funny because the hashtags are so funny. Whistleblower complaint, hashtag whistleblower complaint. But it's also trending along with whistleblowers complaint because nobody can get on the same page as to what the proper hashtag will be about the whistleblower complaint. Now, here's what we know, is that this whistleblower complaint alleges that Donald Trump abused his power trying to get the Ukraine, or the president of the Ukraine, to investigate a political rival being Joe Biden. We also know this, that didn't happen the way that the complaint reads. The quid pro quo in this phone call on July 25th wasn't there. This is also kind of cobbled together from hearsay, second, third-hand statements, and media reports. So this whistleblower complaint really doesn't tell us anything new, and now it's all about the debate around the whistleblower complaint. They're saying that not only did Donald Trump abuse his power in trying to force a foreign government to investigate a political rival, that being Joe Biden, they also allege that they tried to cover it up. They tried to lock down the transcript of the report by moving it to a different server, a secret server. This all sounds very familiar. Again, they accuse you of what they themselves are guilty of. A lot of the time, and what do we have here? The allegations that Donald Trump used his position, used leveraged military aid to have them act on their behalf, or whatever, however you want to put it, to force a foreign government to do something. And then we've got video of Joe Biden bragging about having done that. Joe Biden said, hey, you ain't going to get $1 billion as long as that prosecutor's still employed. You got to fire that guy. And he said, hey, you know what? Within 6 hours, he was fired. Some bitch. That's exactly what Joe Biden said. Now, that stinks. That reeks of using military aid as leverage, does it not? This happens to be the prosecutor who was allegedly looking into Hunter Biden's position at this Ukrainian energy company in which he was being paid $50,000 a month with no kind of expertise on energy or Ukraine. It's like, here you go. He's Joe Biden's kid. Now you're going to put my kid on the board. And then that you'll have access to me. That sounds like a quid pro quo, doesn't it? In two ways. And then secret servers. Who's that sound like? But we've already got the Comey precedent, don't we? Moving stuff to a secret server, that's no big deal, right? That's not an offense that you can indict somebody on. No, that's just extreme carelessness. Be very careful. That is extreme carelessness. So, look, it's more muddy the waters. There's not much going on here except you really got to sell it like it is. And that's what they're doing. In fact, they've got this hearing today where this Director of National Intelligence, McGuire is his name. He is before the House Intelligence Committee. And in his opening statement, Adam Schiff, who I guess is the chair of the Intelligence Committee, he comes out and he gives what he believes is the account of what happened on that phone call that we got the transcript for yesterday. And here's what we have about the phone call from Adam Schiff. Let's take a listen.
The essence of what the president communicates. We've been very good to your country, very good. No other country has done as much as we have. But you know what? I don't see much reciprocity here. I hear what you want. I have a favor I want from you, though. And I'm going to say this only 7 times, so you better listen good. I want you to make up dirt on my political opponent, understand lots of it. On this and on that. I'm going to put you in touch with people, and not just any people. I'm going to put you in touch with Attorney General of the United States, my Attorney General, Bill Barr.
Right, that is not what was said in the transcript. I mean, is he just going off? He's going off script here. Donald Trump did not say, I want you to dig up dirt on my political opponent 7 times. We all saw the transcript yesterday. None of that happened.
He's got the whole weight of the American law enforcement behind him. And I'm going to put you in touch with Rudy. You're going to love him, trust me. You know what I'm asking, and so I'm only going to say this a few more times, in a few more ways. And by the way, don't call me again. I'll call you when you've done what I asked. This is, in character, what the president was trying to communicate with the president of Ukraine. It would be funny if it wasn't such a graphic betrayal of the president's oath of office. But as it does represent a real betrayal, there's nothing the president says here that is in America's interest, after all. It is instead the most consequential.
All right, so Adam Schiff gets up there and he kind of misrepresents on purpose. He misrepresents what happened on the phone call. Listen, if it was so bad, then you could just read it verbatim. If it was, this is even worse than we thought, then you wouldn't need any of the theatrics or the hyperbole. And when he got called out about it, this is what he had to say.
My summary of the president's call was meant to be at least part in parody. The fact that that's not clear is a separate problem in and of itself. Of course, the president never said, if you don't understand me, I'm going to say it 7 more times. My point is, that's the message that the Ukraine president was receiving in not so many words.
Yes, I was paraphrasing with parody because if this is something so serious, then why are you trying to be Weird Al up there, the master of satire and parody, Adam Schiff? Now I've got some clips here. We've got the Director of National Intelligence, Joseph McGuire. He's understandable. He's new. He's new in the position. He's an interim guy, and so this is an exchange he's got. He's probably nervous. He's up there. This is unprecedented territory, as he said, and he's being questioned by Representative Eric Swalwell, who ran for president, and it didn't go so well. It went the opposite of well. It went badly, and so Joseph McGuire's up there, and he's trying to sort it all out. Let everybody know that he's a week on the job when this thing came out, and so Eric Swalwell is giving it to him, and here's what he has to say to the congressman.
Complaint, the whistleblower alleges that immediately after the president's call with the president of Ukraine on July 25, White House lawyers moved quickly to direct White House officials to move electronic transcripts from one computer system where it was normally stored to a secret classified information system. Is that right?
Congresswoman, excuse me, sir, I apologize.
He misgendered Eric Swalwell. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I thought that was a fun clip. With regards to the whistleblower complaint, we've got Representative John Ratcliffe of Texas. He's a Republican. He is highlighting the whistleblower's account and some of the problems with it. Again, if you've got a whistleblower, it's hard to call them a whistleblower if it wasn't their whistle to blow. Like, if they have no direct firsthand knowledge, that undermines the credibility of the whole thing. I don't care if this whistleblower is with the CIA or this whistleblower knows how things work. It's a long-time Washington insider. It doesn't matter. If they weren't there, they weren't there. It's all hearsay. It would be inadmissible in court, like a real court of law. So why is it admissible here? It's because we're talking about politics. Here's Representative John Ratcliffe highlighting some of those problems.
The whistleblower says that I am deeply concerned, talking about the president, that there was a serious or flagrant problem, abuse, or violation of the law. The whistleblower then goes on to say, I was not a direct witness to the events described. However, I found my colleagues' accounts of this to be credible. And then talking about those accounts of which this whistleblower complaint is based on, the whistleblower tells us the officials that I spoke with told me, and I was told that, and I learned from multiple U.S. officials that, and White House officials told me that, and I also learned from multiple U.S. officials that. In other words, all of this is secondhand information. None of it is firsthand information. The whistleblower then goes on to cite additional sources besides those secondhand information. Those sources happen to include mainstream media. The sources that the whistleblower bases his complaints on include the Washington Post, the New York Times, Politico, The Hill, Bloomberg, ABC News, and others. In other words, much like the Steele dossier, the allegations in the whistleblower's complaints are based on third-hand mainstream media sources rather than first-hand information. The whistleblower also appears to allege crimes not just against the president, but says, with regard to this scheme to solicit interference from a foreign country in the 2020 election, that, quote, the president's personal lawyer, Mr. Rudolph Giuliani, is a central figure in this effort, and Attorney General Barr appears to be involved as well. But buried in a footnote, a couple of pages later, the whistleblower admits, I do not know the extent to which, if at all, Mr. Giuliani is directly coordinating his efforts on the Ukraine with Attorney General Barr.
It's crazy because he's actually reading it. As Representative John Ratcliffe of Texas, he's the one reading it. Adam Schiff is up there characterizing what happened. He's giving his own, one-act play, his one-man show, his interpretation of what Donald Trump said to the president of the Ukraine. And it's for a very simple reason. A very simple reason that Adam Schiff will misrepresent it, because he knows that people will watch what he said, and maybe they won't watch the follow-up where he admits it was parody. Maybe they'll just watch what he said, and they'll go, oh my God, Donald Trump? He said that 7 times that he wanted the president of the Ukraine to dig up dirt on his political opponent, Joe Biden? Oh my God, he really said that? Because there are enough people who are just paying a little bit of attention. There are people who will scroll through and they'll watch a video and they'll just take it for granted that that is exactly what happened. The difference is you've got Representative John Ratcliffe who is reading from the whistleblower complaint with all these footnotes and caveats about how, there's no firsthand knowledge, no direct knowledge, but my colleagues seemed credible in their feelings, and that Rudy Giuliani was a central figure, and then a footnote that says, I have no direct knowledge if he's a central figure or involved at all. I mean, it's a dirty, dirty game that they're all playing. Not as dirty as the Trump naked pictures, which, look, there was a time, and this was fantastic, some people trolled Adam Schiff of the Intelligence Committee. All right, Adam Schiff got trolled, and he was prank called by some people who claimed to have naked pictures of Donald Trump, and he seemed interested. He seemed interested in seeing Donald Trump's wiener. He said that yeah, that's something we would be interested in, because that would be some great Oppo research, wouldn't it? If you had embarrassing, naked photos of Donald Trump. It's a dirty game, this politics, and that's real dirty. That's gross. In fact, I thought I had a clip of some of the Devin Nunes talking about the naked pictures. The only problem is that if I go through Twitter and I search for Trump naked pictures, I don't want to do that on this computer. I don't want to give this computer some sort of virus. I don't want George to think I'm some kind of perv looking for naked pictures of Donald Trump. I'm sure he doesn't appreciate me even talking about that. It's so graphic and so gross. Ugh. Love or hate Trump, nobody wants to see him nude. The biggest Trump supporter, even the biggest Trump supporter, the biggest MAGA hat wearing Fox News fan, they don't even want to see Trump naked. Nobody does. It's just something we don't even want to, I don't even put that image in your head. And I fear it's too late. I fear I've already have, and for that, I'm sorry. All right, I really am. So that's all the shenanigans happening on Capitol Hill today. But again, I'm reading also, they're burning this guy, Joseph McGuire, the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, the acting Director of National Intelligence, for how he handled the complaint. It was sent to him. What did it was sent to him, I guess, in early August or something. You had July 25th was a phone call, and then he got it, I guess, early August, let's say it took 5-6 days to put this thing together. And he got it, and then, what's his name? Adam Schiff had it on August 12th. And Adam Schiff was referencing it as late as August 28th. So this guy had this for a while. And so now, but he's saying, well, why didn't you give it to anybody? And he's like, I sent it to you. You had it. So it's all a mess. It's meant to confuse you. That's what it is. It is meant to confuse the federal government. All these people play this game, and it's all confusing, and it's to muddy the water. But they just want one message to get out: Orange man bad, Democrats good, must impeach. He's ruining the country. We're going to call for his impeachment. He's ruining the country. Going to call for his impeachment. So that's the latest. I'm sure there's a lot more to it. There's this CrowdStrike thing. There's who knew what and when. What does this lead to? Does this lead to more investigations, another special counsel? How does this affect the 2020 election? There are some Democrats, from what I understand, they're saying stuff like, we need to focus on 2020, maybe actually winning an election, instead of looking back at 2016 and trying to undo an election. And that's probably exactly what they need to do, but they're so scared because all these people run for president are psychos. Seriously, they are. They are. Elizabeth Warren has no chance. Elizabeth Warren loses all support from Wall Street, from big business, and she wants you to think that's what she wants, that she wants to be for you. But you know what? A lot of people work in Wall Street. A lot of people work for big companies. Her policies that she's proposing are awful and would be awful for the country. They'd be awful for you. She still dodges that whole question about whether or not she'll have to raise taxes on the middle class. Spoiler alert, she will, to pay for anything that she's proposing. She has to raise everybody's taxes. She would damn near have to take all of your money. And you know what? She would. She would, and Bernie would, and a lot of these wacko leftists, they would, because they know better than you. They know how to spend your money better than you do. They know what's best for you. Forget this self-governance, this great experiment that we have. I'll go back to the Gipper, and I'll do it every day if I have to. If none among us has the ability to govern himself, then who among us has the ability to govern someone else? That's the question that I always go back to. I always ask, when confronted by people who want to take all your money so they can redistribute it and then give you what they think you need, because they don't know, or they think they know best. They don't. All right, coming up, we've got comedy's Civil War. It has begun. Who are the fighters? Who's going to win? We'll talk about it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9, and AM 990.
Planning for retirement can be confusing and overwhelming. Tune in to the Servant Retirement Show to hear the current news and events today's retirees need to know. Every Saturday morning at 8 on KWAM, The Voice, AM 990. If you want to talk to Dan Groban or Philip Menard today about your retirement plans, call the team at Servant Advisors Group, 855-260-1000. That's 855-260-1000. Get started on the path toward a comfortable retirement today. 855-260-1000.
Hempville CBD has opened its second location at 562 Goodman Road in South Haven. Whether you're new to CBD or already using it as part of your daily routine, one of our knowledgeable consultants is ready to serve you. Hempville CBD offers a variety of quality products such as oils, lotions, edibles, CBD vape products, and something for your furry pets as well. Come by Hempville CBD at 562 Goodman Road right next to Subway or call us at 662-536-6046. 662-536-6046.
I talk with healthcare professionals to bring you the latest wellness information Tuesdays and Thursdays on Live Life Well. Listen in and get tips like this to help you get started on your road to wellness.
You have to commit to seeing what you've been doing, taking ownership of what hasn't been working, and committing to make a change. Because a lifestyle change is something that you're going to have to work at.
I'm Bernadette Davis, and I've got you covered every Tuesday and Thursday on Live Life Well. Listen in during the Mary Beth Conley Show on AM 990 and streaming live on KWAMTheVoice.com.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, stop. Don't do anything until you talk to my man, James Underwood. James Underwood has been helping people like you navigate the Mid-South real estate market for more than a decade. So whether you're looking to buy your first home or you want to upgrade to your forever home, James Underwood can help make it happen. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just a rock-solid guy that I've known for 25 years. So now, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, hit up James Underwood with CryLike. JamesUnderwood.crylike.com. That's JamesUnderwood.crylike.com.
Hi, I'm Danny Lipford from Today's Homeowner. Need to up your home improvement game? We can help. Whether you're aiming to impress someone special with your handy skills, tackle neglected repairs, or add value to your home, we've got your weekly dose of expert advice, tips, and hacks for taming your to-do list. And we'll have a little fun along the way. Your home will be the one that's talked about for all the right reasons, and it starts right here. Tune in to Today's Homeowner every Saturday morning from 6 to 9 right here on KWAM, the voice for the Mid-South.
Design Jewelers in Bartlett is renowned for being the best in custom jewelry since 1988. But did you know they also do jewelry repair? That's right. If you need size fixing, ring setting, stone tightening, chain or watch repair, stop by Design Jewelers at 3135 Kirby Whitten Parkway. Their combination of expertise and customer service cannot be found anywhere else. That's Design Jewelers in Bartlett, 3135 Kirby Whitten Parkway.
Your dog is a furry member of your family, and they deserve the highest level of care. Dogtopia has award-winning daycare, boarding, and spa services. They are the safest, cleanest, and most transparent dog daycare and boarding option for you. The best part? You can check in with your dog anytime on the video stream on your phone. Dogtopia, located at Carriage Crossing. Find out more at dogtopia.com to schedule your dog's best day ever.
All right, welcome back to it.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990. Online, KWAMTheVoice.com. The Listen Live link is in the top right corner. If you want to listen online, you can also watch the program on YouTube. The channel's Nation of Jake. You can go check that out for me. Also follow me on Facebook and the Twitter at Nation of Jake there. Nation of Jake anywhere you go. And Nation of Jake on Twitter and Facebook. It's a good way to get in contact with me should we ever get separated. Like if we're in a strange place and we get separated, you know, like when you got lost in the mall, you know, nowadays a kid can just text their mom, hey, I'm over at Suncoast. Well, I'm over at Gadzooks, Mom. They don't have any of those stores anymore at the mall. People don't go to the mall anymore. A lot has changed. A ton has changed. A lot has changed with regards to what you can say and what you cannot say, especially in comedy. I remember growing up watching all those great comedy specials. I grew up watching a lot of, you know, those HBO comedy specials and then MTV's half-hour comedy hour and a lot of Nick at Night. I would watch SNL, the old original Not Ready for Primetime Players. I watched a lot of like old Richard Pryor stuff. Comedy Central used to play old stand-up acts at night, and so I would watch those. I really liked stand-up comedy for a long time, and you've had some of the titans of stand-up, the Sam Kinnisons, and then you had Bill Hicks, and you had Dennis Leary, and you had so many. George Carlin, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy could not do what he did back in 1984, 85 with Delirious and Raw and all that. He can't do that today. The jokes, some comedians have pushed it to the level where, oh my God, can you imagine if they said that in the 80s? And the other guy's like, oh my God, I can't believe they used to say that. Like, it's odd now. And the Hollywood Reporter, Seth Abramovich over there at the Hollywood Reporter has a piece titled Comedy's Civil War, How an SNL Firing Exposed a Growing Rift in Stand-Up. While many cheered Shane Gillis's NBD's dismissal 4 days after he was hired, a slice of the community sneered, revealing an increasing divide over what's legitimate envelope-pushing and what's just plain racist. When Saturday Night Live fired Shane Gillis on September 16th, just 4 days after he was cast as one of the latest not ready for primetime players, the news was greeted with high fives in much of the comedy community. Dana Gould tweeted that Gillis should strive to be a better comic, while Silicon Valley actor Jimmy O. Yang posted that Gillis deserved to go because he was just plain racist. But not all comedians were rejoicing. On the contrary, the Gillis controversy, which began hours after his hiring, when podcasts surfaced of the 30-year-old Philadelphia comic calling presidential candidate Andrew Yang a Jew chink, which you cannot do. He spewed other racist and homophobic jokes, has become a flashpoint revealing a deep and widening rift in the comedy world. Like every other aspect of American life in the Trump era, stand-up is turning polarized, pitting comic against comic in an escalating civil war over what's acceptable humor and what's unfunny hate speech. You millennials, you're a bunch of rats, all of you. Gillis defender Bill Burr snarled on David Spade's Comedy Central show. None of them cares. All they want to do is get people in trouble. And Bill Burr, he's one of the guys. You've got Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Norm Macdonald. They are absolutists. Comedy has no limits to these guys. And they are the ones who have been really pushing comedy forward, I think. Dave Chappelle, everybody loves Dave Chappelle. Everybody loves Dave Chappelle. They all agree that guy has always been on the top of his game. I mean, back from Chappelle's show, that was pushing limits. I mean, when you thought you couldn't go any farther, Dave Chappelle would take it in that different direction. He's heady, too. Dave Chappelle's a very smart guy with really good perspectives. And yeah, he touches on the third rail from time to time. Norm Macdonald was doing it way before. He was a troll before that was a thing. Before there were internet trolls and before there was anybody saying, oh yeah, he's just trolling, Norm Macdonald was trolling you. And at the time, people weren't ready for it. They didn't know what Norm Macdonald was doing on Weekend Update. He was absolutely hilarious. But at the time, a lot of people were like, whoa, what's this so weird? Like, why is he so weird? Like, he intentionally bombs. And when he's doing it intentionally, you know when you're in on the joke, it's hilarious. But a lot of people weren't ready for Norm Macdonald. And Bill Burr, he's a no-holds-barred comic. He's old school. He goes after anybody and everybody. If the pro-Gillis faction has a rebel base, it would be Gas Digital, a subscription streaming network, charges $8.50 a month, based in New York's East Village, catering to alt-right sensibilities, according to Seth Abramovich. Or it's what other people see as envelope pushing, anything goes comedy in the vein of Lenny Bruce or Sam Kinison. Gillis was a regular on its airwaves. It's where he cracked his Andrew Yang jokes, as well as another in which he referred to Judd Apatow and actor Chris Gethard as homophobic slurs I will not say on this program. That said, that's funny, though. Here's why not funny, ha-ha, the joke. But Judd Apatow, he did the 40-year-old version, right? The 40-year-old version with Steve Carell. No, didn't they have that whole exchange written by Judd Apatow, the whole, you want to know how I know you're gay? You like Coldplay. You want to know how I know you're gay? Between Seth Rogen and another character, I guess it was Paul Rudd. And Judd Apatow didn't get canceled for his homophobic jokes. Well, maybe it's because they were jokes and not just saying mean words. Gas Digital co-founder Luis J. Gomez says it's funny because when you said one side is very tolerant and inclusive, I was like, yes, that's the side I'm on. Gomez co-hosts the service's popular Legion of Skanks podcast which gets 500,000 downloads per episode, which is pretty good. It's a lot more than I get. It's just any characterization of his network as alt-right is wildly off base. He goes, we're on the side of funny. We're just trying to create freely. I think when you get off Twitter and Reddit and YouTube, you find people who aren't super sensitive about jokes. But if Gomez, who is Puerto Rican, grew up surrounded by drug abuse and gun violence, distances himself from the alt-right label, he hasn't distanced himself from alt-right ideas or stars. In May, he invited the movement's poster boy, provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos, on his Skanks podcast, which led to a firestorm of protests and a change of venue after members of the left-wing Antifa movement threatened to storm the Long Island Comedy Club. See, here's where the problem is. There are no conservatives or right-wingists, even people I abhor, people I despise, like those alt-right guys, the Richard Spencers, they're not going threatening to burn down people's studios if they host Bernie Sanders or somebody who's on the left. They're like, all right, do whatever you want. I mean, that's what side I'm on. I'm firmly entrenched in the do whatever you want side. I mean, if this fella Gomez, Luis Gomez, wants to interview Gavin McInnes, who's known as the old Proud Boys guy, or Louis C.K., who is known for getting canceled over having touched himself in front of women consensually. I don't know. It's just it's one of these deals where you've got guys who want to go out and try things and make mistakes and push boundaries, but you're always kind of lorded over by this outrage mob who says, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's not just that they will expose you. It's not just they'll dig up your old tweets or they'll dig up a podcast. They'll also go after your livelihood. They'll stage boycotts. It's kind of like, taking a little bit of a break from this comedy civil war from the Hollywood Reporter. It's kind of like the kid who had the bad tweets when he was 16. And he raised all the money for the children's hospital, the Carson King. We talked about it earlier. I mean, he's doing okay now. It looks like his hometown's taking care of him. They're all behind him. But it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, look, you can't ever enjoy anything ever again because you tweeted something when you were 16. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Or no, you can't be on SNL because you tried some jokes that weren't funny and the jokes were hurtful. I was like, okay, but who did he actually hurt? Nobody heard it before. It's only hurtful now because the guy, he got successful. Well, he didn't get successful doing that. That was just something that he had done. It doesn't make any sense. And again, what Bill Burr said, I think he said it best. He's like, they're just looking to get people in trouble. These millennials, they're just looking to get people in trouble. I grew up, being a tattletale was bad. Now, if somebody really hurt you and you needed to let somebody know, that wasn't being a tattletale. But when you're going on saying every little thing, oh, he called me this, oh, he stuck his finger in my cereal, we were told, hey, handle that yourselves as a Gen Xer. My dad would get real exasperated at the tattletaling to the point where he's like, hey, I don't have time for this. I don't care what he called you. Figure it out. So, yeah, it's just this whole generation of tattletales is what it is. Little tattletales. They don't know how to settle any differences or deal with any kind of hurt feelings other than to go tattle to the world that this kid had bad tweets, or tattle to the world that this person told a racist joke, or whatever it is. It's just a bunch of tattletales. They don't know how to deal with your own feelings about stuff, and just, hey, we're going to ruin this guy's life because he said something that offended me or could have. Because I'm telling you right now, the kid in Iowa, those tweets that he wrote when he was 16, when he was quoting Daniel Tosh of Tosh.0, he didn't hurt anybody. How many followers could he have had on Twitter back when he was 16? Like 30? 32? This is an anonymous kid from Iowa. But because he has gained some sort of recognition for being, the kid from Iowa who raised all that money for the children's hospital, the Des Moines Register's going out and saying, but here's who he really is. What? 8 years ago when he was 16? No, that is not who he is. What, a quoter of Daniel Tosh? Oh, the horror. I bet all those kids with cancer in the hospital, they're regretting benefiting from all that money that he raised. Oh, wait, he has racist tweets? Oh, is he only donating to white cancer patients at the hospital? Good Lord. All right, we've got some local news, bunch of it. And we do that in the news cruise. So leisurely look at the headlines. We'll do it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
CBS News update. The whistleblower complaint against President Trump and his phone call to the Ukrainian president has made it to Congress, but why did it take so long?
Although executive privilege prevented us from sharing the details of the complaint with the committees until recently, this does not mean that the complaint was ignored.
Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph McGuire in testimony today before the House Intelligence Committee and Chairman Adam Schiff.
Yesterday, we were presented with the most graphic evidence yet that the President of the United States has betrayed his oath of office, betrayed his oath to defend our national security, and betrayed his oath to defend our Constitution.
House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
We're not talking about something small. Think about what we're talking about right here. Think about what the Democrats have just done to this country in the last week or in the last 2 years. They're talking about impeaching a sitting president that they have no crime for.
CBS News update. I'm Jim Chenevey.
I'm Ed Parami, the owner of JanPro, the franchise that helps you be your own boss. JanPro is now the fastest growing franchise in the entire world for the second year in a row by Entrepreneur Magazine. We are growing so fast we need new business owners right here in Memphis right now. So if you want to be your own boss and open your own business, call JanPro at 901-683-4900 to see just how easy it is to be your own boss. For as little as $950 down, you can be a part of JanPro. Don't waste another minute. Call 901-683-4900.
McDaniel Drywall in Memphis reminds listeners in times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment, patriotism, sacrifice, and courage keeps our country safe. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This message is brought to you by McDaniel Drywall in Memphis. Call 487-4169. Proudly saluting Sergeant Philip Logan Skaggs and Sergeant Major Lucas for their great service.
This is Clark Howard. There's a big fuss made recently when the feds decided to roll back rules requiring more efficient lighting in your home. Well, the funny thing is that overwhelmingly around the country, people's electric bills, their consumption has been declining principally because people are putting in more efficient LED bulbs. So just because the new rules say, well, you can put in as energy wasteful a bulb as you want, why would you? And think about this. LED bulbs now routinely are available for $1 a bulb. Home Depot sells them all the time in multi-packs at $1 a bulb. In fact, at that price, if you have any old-fashioned traditional light bulbs hanging around your house plugged into fixtures, replace them even though they're still working with an LED bulb. You'll save so much on electricity.
The backyard's looking great, Rob.
Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors?
Why don't you just ask Home Advisor?
Home what?
HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job.
Nice. Now, how much does it cost?
Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free.
What's the website again?
HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor. If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to WaveBestWater.com. That's WaveBestWater.com.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake.
Yes, have some.
On The Voice.
Yes, have some.
FM 107.9.
Yes, have some.
AM 990 online, KWAMTheVoice.com. YouTube, Nation of Jake. Twitter and Facebook, Nation of Jake as well. All right, this is the time of the program where we get caught up on the headlines. It's been all about whistleblowers and whatnot today. And some other stuff thrown in. But we've got some local news to get to, and we do this on my yacht. That's right, I'm going to call it a yacht because I am no longer humble. I'm proud of my yacht. It's the News Cruise. in the Nation of Jake.
Exciting and new.
Large vessel. Massive. My vessel is huge.
We're expecting you. The news cruise. Full of exciting news. The news cruise. So relax and kick off your shoes.
Welcome aboard the News Cruise, brought to you by our friends at Just Windows Home Services. Those guys can do whatever you need them to do. Not only can they wash your windows, make them crystal clear inside and out, upstairs and down, they can also clean off your roof, clean out your gutters, and clean any fans or chandeliers you might have, inside or out. I don't know how ballin' you are, but if you've got a chandelier outside, they would love to see it, and they would love to clean it. Also do some pressure washing. They probably would not pressure wash your chandelier because chandeliers are delicate and expensive. They would handle your chandelier with care. However, they will pressure wash the hell out of that nasty deck outside or the patio, walkway, pool deck, whatever you got. You give them a call, 751-3934. At 751-3934. Get 20% off. You tell them the Nation of Jake sent you. All we've got here in the News Cruise, first up, University of Memphis President David Rudd has declined the nearly $100,000 raise set to go into effect on Tuesday, October 1st. With the raise, his annual pay would have risen to $525,000 a year. How's the guy supposed to feed his family on less than $525,000 a year in Memphis? That's amazing. In an email to faculty, staff, and students, Rudd said it was not in the best interest of the university for him to accept the raise at this time, and I quote, "After considerable thought," I bet it was considerable, "I have decided not to accept a salary increase this year. I appreciate the thoughtfulness, support, and offer from our Board of Trustees, but ultimately believe it is in the best interest of the institution to forego any salary increase at this time. Overall institutional efficiency has been on the forefront of my agenda from the day I started, a value I firmly believe and will continue to live. Thank you for your hard work in behalf of our students, university, and community." The trustees approve the raise, but you're in this whole debate over $15 an hour. And David Rudd has done a lot for the University of Memphis. I mean, not only, you've got all these improvements to facilities, athletic and otherwise. The pedestrian bridge, right? They talk about the pedestrian bridge forever, for the safety of those students who walk around campus. Got that done. But he's probably right. The optics aren't great when it comes to you're in a debate on how to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, then you yourself get an extra $100,000.